Bugungi darsimizda Cambridge 9-kitobning Test 2, Passage 1 analizini ko'rib chiqamiz va bu qismda bizda title berilmagan ekan. Shuning uchun birdaniga savollarga qarashga harakat qilamiz va ko'rganingizdek, which section contains the following information? Demak, matching information haqida ma'lumot bor. Bizga 6 ta savol berilgan. Undan keyin esa no more than 2 words or a number. Demak, bu qismda short answers and matching information va matching information savollari xohlagan joyda kelganligi sababli bu qismni faqatgina o'qish bilan cheklanishdan boshqa ilojimiz yo'q. Bizda taxminan 10 tacha paragraf bor ekan, 6 ta savol bor ekan. 5 ta paragraf o'qib javobini ko'ramiz, yana 5 ta paragraf o'qib javobini ko'ramiz. Xo'p, keling endi birgalikda bu qismni boshlaymiz. Kattaroq qilsam yaxshi bo'lsa kerak. Hearing impairment and other auditory function deficit in young children have a major impact on their development of speech and communication, resulting in detrimental effect of their ability to learn in school. This is likely to have major consequences for the individual and the population as a whole. New Zealand has found research carried out over 2 decades that 6 to 10% of children in that country are affected by hearing loss. Interesting. A preliminary study in New Zealand has shown that the classroom noise presents a major concern for teachers and pupils. Modern teaching practice, organization of desks in the classroom, and poor classroom acoustics, mechanical means of ventilation such as air conditioning units all contribute to the number of children unable to comprehend the teacher's voice. Education researchers have suggested that recent trends in learning often involve collaborative interaction of multiple minds, tools such as much as individual possession of information. This amounts to heightened activity and noise levels, which have potential to be particularly serious for children experiencing auditory function deficit. Noise in classrooms can only exacerbate their difficulty in comprehending and processing verbal communication with other children and instructions from their teachers. Children with auditory function deficit are potentially failing to learn to their maximum potential because the noise levels generated in classrooms. The effects of noise on the ability of children to learn effectively in typical classroom environment are now subject of increasing concern. This is on the advice of established an international working party, which includes New Zealand, to evaluate noise and reverberation control of schoolrooms. Birinchi paragrafda, A paragrafda auditory function and impairment haqida ma'lumot berilgan. B'da unga contribute qiladigan sabablar, C'da shuni yomonligi va shu sababli o'sha impairment bo'lgan odamlarni, bolachalarni o'sha muammolarga duch kelayotganligi haqida ma'lumot berilgan. While the detrimental effects of noise in classroom situations are not limited to children experiencing disability, those with disability that affects their processing of speech and verbal communication could be extremely vulnerable. In questions include hearing impairment, acoustic spectrum disorders, and attention deficit disorders. Autism is considered a neurological and genetic lifelong disorder that causes discrepancies in the way information is processed. Disorder is characterized by the interlinking problems with social imagination, social communication, social interaction. According to Jensen, it affects the ability to understand, relate in typical ways to people, understand events and objects in the environment, and understand or respond to sensory stimuli. Autism doesn't allow learning or thinking in the same ways as children who are developing normally. Autistic spectrum disorders often result in major difficulties in comprehending verbal information, speech processing. Those experiencing these disorders often find sounds such as crowd noise generated by machinery, painful and distressing. This difficulty to scientifically quantify such extrasensory stimuli vary greatly from one acoustic individual to another, but a child who finds a type of noise in the classroom or learning space intrusive is likely to be adversely affected by the ability to learn and process information. Bu qismda oxirgi qismda autizm haqida ma'lumot bergan ekan. 5 ta paragrafni o'qidik, endi javoblarni ko'rib chiqamiz. Account of a national policy initiative. National policy initiative haqida ma'lumot yo'q. Bu qismda New Zealand haqida ma'lumot bor, lekin national policy yo'q. Bu qismda world bor, lekin national policy yo'q. Hozircha yo'q. Description of a global team effort. Global team effort haqida ma'lumot bor. Bu qismda mana yerda yozilgan. Mana yerda yozilgan. International Working Party. Demak, bu C bo'lar ekan. Rangni o'zgartira olaylik, zeriktirib boraylik. Keyingizga o'tamiz. Hypothesis as to one reason behind the growth in classroom noise. One reason behind the growth of classroom noise. One reason, but there's not only one reason, there are a lot of reasons. Hozircha yo'q. Menimcha balki yoki ko'ramiz. Agar bo'lmasa javobini ko'ramiz. Aniq emas. Demand for suitable worldwide regulations haqida ma'lumot yo'q. Yoki bormi demand for worldwide regulations haqida? Yo'q. A list of medical conditions which place some children more at risk from noise than others. List of medical conditions mana shunda bor yozgan. Impairment, ecosystem disorders. Demak, D bo'lar ekan qismda list of medical conditions D bo'lar ekan. Keyingisi estimated proportion of children using with arthritis problems mana 6 dan 10 gacha berilgan, o'sha uchun ham A olamiz buni. Xo'p, demak bizda bu savolga javob topilmadi hozircha. Bu savolga javob topilmadi. Ikkita savolga javob topilmadi hozircha. For what period of time has hearing loss in school children been studied in New Zealand? Qachondan beri study qilishyapti? I don't know. In addition to mentioning noise, what other type of noise can affect children with autism? Demak, unda crowd noise. Crowd. Where is crowd? Crowd noise and noise mentioning. Crowd noise yozib qo'yamiz. Crowd noise. Demak, undan oldin bu javobimiz for what period of time? Qanchadan beri bu qismni o'rganib kelishyapti? Qiziq savol. Qanchadan beri o'rganib kelishyapti ekan? Bilmayman. Ko'rmadim lekin. Topamiz. Over 2 decades mana yozilgan-ku. Qaramaysanmi? Over 2 decades yoziladi. Over 2 decades. Over 2 decades. Bu to'g'ri javob bo'ladi. 2 decades yoki over 2 decades. Men qoidani buzganim yo'q. Ikkita so'z yozdim, bitta raqam yozdim. Shu qoida buzilmadi. Unaqa qaramanglar, qoida buzilmadi. What term is used to describe the hearing problems of school children which have not been diagnosed? Hali o'qimadik demak. Demak, F dan boshlab o'qiymiz, qolganlarga javob topishga harakat qilamiz. Qanaqa savolimiz bor yana? Savol turlari bor ekan hali. Xo'p, those below includes factors contributing to classroom noise which two are mentioned by the writer of the passage. Classroom noise haqida ma'lumotni o'qidik. Paragraf nimada o'qidik? Paragraf B da o'qidik. Topamiz. Current teaching methods bor. Echo encoders yo'q. Cooling system bor. Large classes yo'q. Loud voice teachers yo'q. Playground music yo'q. Demak, A ni olamiz. C ni olamiz. Air conditioning bor, topaman nima? Shunda air conditioning units bor. Teaching methods ham bor. Teaching method ni ham topaman. Mana modern teaching practice. Ikkitasi bo'ladi. Bu bir, mana bu ikki. Xo'p, what's the writer's overall purpose in writing this article? Buni o'qib tushunganimizdan keyin bilamiz. Overall purpose haqida hozircha haligacha butun umumiy ma'lumotni yig'ganimiz yo'q. Topamiz. Muammo bo'lmaydi. O'qishda davom etamiz. ADD, are indicative of neurological genetic disorders, are characterized by difficulties with sustained attention, effort and persistence, organization and skills, and disinhibition. Children experiencing these disorders find it difficult to screen out unimportant information. And focus on everything in the environment rather than attending to a single activity. Interesting. Background noise in the classroom becomes a major distraction which can affect their ability to concentrate. Children experiencing auditory function deficits can often find speech and communication very difficult to isolate and process when set against high levels of background noise. These levels come from outside activities that penetrate the classroom structure, from teaching activities to other noise generated inside, which can be exerted by wrong reverberation. Strategies are needed to obtain the optimum classroom construction and perhaps a change in classroom culture, methods of teaching. In particular, the effects of noisy classroom and activities on those experiencing disabilities in the form of function need thorough investigation. It's probable that many undiagnosed children exist in the education system with invisible disabilities. Their needs are less likely to be met than those with known disabilities. Demak, shunda ma'lumot bor. Yozilgandi mana. Demand for suitable. Qayerdadir ko'rganimda. Undiagnosed degan gapni. Mana, what term is used to describe the hearing problem of school children which have not been diagnosed? Demak, shunda invisible disabilities. Invisible disabilities yozib qo'yamiz. Invisible disabilities. Hope. Keyingizga o'tamiz. Which part of the New Zealand disability system strategy aims to give school children equal opportunity? Endi o'qiymiz. Hope, National Policy Initiative o'qimadik hozircha. One reason behind course. Maybe. Yeah, maybe maybe G, I don't know, maybe we cannot disprove it. So G ni ham yozib qo'yaylik, keyin topamiz javobini. Xo'p, 3 belgilangan, bir bilan demand for suitable worldwide ni topmadik hali. O'qib olaylik, topamiz. New Zealand government has developed civil strategy, has embarked on wide-ranging consultancy process. This structure recognize that people experience disability face significant barriers and achieve full content, such as attitude, education, employment, class, access to service. Objective 3 of New Zealand civil strategy: to all children, youth learners, and adult learners must have equal opportunities to learn within the already existing local. They make equal opportunity. What part is objective 3? Equal opportunity. Objective 3. Objective 3 equal opportunity berar ekan. Xo'p, demak bu qism tugadi. Keyin esa National Policy Initiative bor, bu qismda H da bor ekan. H da bor. Worldwide Regulation. Demak bu qism tugadi. O'qish shart emas oxirigacha. Bu qismni hali overall purpose ni topamiz. Worldwide Regulation topa olamiz. A number of countries are already in the process of formulating their own control. New Zealand will probably follow their example. Literature on date on noise appears to focus on the effect on school in general. Teachers attention have been given to those students experiencing the other levels involving other function. This is what it needs to children that take into account international standards to be promulgated in the future. Xo'p, demak bu qismda demand for suitable worldwide regulation mana international standard haqida ma'lumot berilgan. Shuning buni I deb olishimiz katta ehtimol bilan I deb olamiz. Xo'p, mana bunda lekin hypothesis one reason why behind the growth in classroom noise. Demak o'sib ketyapti. Balki G bo'lar shu rostini. Mana, when set against high levels of background noise, this have come from outside activities that penetrate the classroom structure. Xo'p, bu dilemma bo'lib qoldi lekin rostdan ham bu. Hipotezada bu. Xo'p, qisqasi mayli G bo'la qolsin. G bo'la qolsin, bo'ldi. Shu bilan bugungi darsimiz o'z nihoyasiga yetadi. Agar hali o'z nihoyasiga yetmaydi, mana bu qolib ketdi. So compare different methods of dealing with no, provide solutions no, increase awareness to the situation. Mana increase awareness. Demak, bolalar tushuninglar, shunaqa muammo bo'lyapti. Bu narsani biz hammamiz tushunishimiz, bu narsani birgalikda hal qilishga harakat qilishimiz kerak. Increase awareness, ya'ni odamlarning awareness bilishini oshirish bundan maqsad. Bo'ldi, shu bilan bu qism o'z nihoyasiga yetadi. Agar muammolari, xatolari bo'ladigan bo'lsa, rozi bo'lasizlar. Kommentarda qoldiringlar. Agar muammo bo'ladigan bo'lsa, shu bilan xayr. See you in the next lessons.